Alright, how's it going? It's 9:53 a.m. March the 16th, 21, and I just had more important things to do in the morning, so I missed the market open, and I don't really see any stocks that have been doing a nice number 5, except for this one, AABB. I don't know if I would have traded it or not, but this one dropped from 31 to 27, and it spiked as high as 34, so that's pretty nice. And the other one was LTNC. This one did a number 5 as well. Went from 24, dropped to 20, spiked to 22. I don't think I would have traded this one had I have seen it, because it's just a stock that I had a bad time with before trading. I don't see any other stocks that are doing a number 5. We see there's a lot of these. IQST is like one that had a drop and then bounces and then cracks and makes a new low. A lot of them are like this. If it keeps dropping like really harshly, if we see one down more than 20, I'd say more than 30%, even that, I'll consider a number 5. But I am aware of the time, 9:54. I'm gonna look at my notes and see when I normally buy these stocks, these number 5 setups. What's the average time, just to get an idea. If I missed the setups today, that's totally fine. What I had to do was much more important. So this is where I'm at right now, though. Very interesting. A lot of fake outs, although this one, yeah, kind of worked, but you know, not perfect. And I wouldn't have likely traded this one because it's over $1, but this is the state right now, and I'm definitely gonna do some looking. Alright, just a small update. I found out that the average time I normally get it in a lot of these number 5 setups is 9:34 a.m. So unless it has like a follow-up drop like this with IQSC, for example, which I'm not too interested in, again, because of the price. But if we just have one that drops massively, and I mean massively, that wouldn't be too bad. This like a fake out number 5, but you know, this is a real drop, the real bounce is going to follow. In that case, I'll be interested, but yeah, that's the state where I'm at right now. IQSC keeps dropping like it's trying to tease me, but I'm not going to buy this one, even though the level 2 looks very nice. 106 by 107, a lot of people at the bid, but I'll gladly miss this one. I just don't like the price range of it. That could be, you know, something I look back at and say, oh, that's a stupid reason why, but I've just found the cheaper ones, the ones under 50 cents, to be really beneficial. But yeah, this one could very well do it. I'll be looking for number 5 setups, but I'm going to be very cautious just because I might have already missed the average time, which is 9:34, to be in these stocks for that type of trade. Alright, it's 10:02 a.m. I think I'm late to it. Oh, maybe not. If it does a nice drop back in the 40s, but this looks like a potential bull flag. Maybe I'll trade like 10 shares just to get, like, you know, just to say I was in it, but really just to practice. It's a listed stock. It's a bit of a halter. Could definitely do another one of those halty moves again. It should really start spiking this candle, if not the next one, and I don't mind not trading it, even if I trade small, just to see how it does, because in theory the ideal setup would have been in around the 640, so anything above that is really just chasing. And if you're chasing and it drops and maybe does the bull flag setup but not perfectly, right, you'll get out of your position early just because you weren't in at a good you know, price, and then it works without you, and that's even more frustrating if you ask me. I don't mind missing this one if it doesn't work out. It looks like it could do a bull flag, really, any candle. It has to, you know, unless, you know, you cut losses. I would probably risk it off at 614. That's too much. I'd probably risk it off. I'd probably risk it at 630. If it cracks 630, I'd be out, because, you know, they don't have to work out, but a lot of these do. Let's see, this thing can make a nice bull flag setup. Doesn't have to, of course. It could fail, but this looks a lot like a bull flag. They're not all going to work out, but some of them do. And as long as you cut losses quickly on the ones that don't work out, you're fine. I don't like the sellers on level 2, but if the setup works out, it's going to just ignore them. It's trying really hard. Looks like we're at 690 for a brief moment. $7. Now we're at 5. What in the world? I didn't say it, but you know, sometimes these things turn out to be like those sketchy freaking ascending triangles, and then they just rip a red candle like this one. That's really unfortunate. I wonder if it broke the VWAP. Let me see if it broke the VWAP. Oh, I actually didn't break the VWAP. Oh my goodness, that's funny, dude. Look at that nice drop right here. This bull flag wouldn't have worked out, and I'll be honest, cutting losses here would have been very hard, and that would have been really unfortunate. Looks like a bull flag to me here, but I guess when it just starts consolidating here, that's when the pattern is out. It's not working out, and you should cut losses, or maybe even just cut it. Maybe not at a loss, but maybe a small profit. Maybe that's something I can learn. If it does some kind of bull flag action and then it starts doing this consolidation, it's not really doing the flag, it's not continuing the downtrend, it should be a sign to get out. It's funny, it got to 7 before it got to. Probably the market maker got some shorts, you know, out of their stop losses, and then it does this amazing drop. That's pretty cool. A lot to learn from here. Very interesting move. CANF. I saw this inverse head and shoulders and I didn't want to trade it because the head was way too wide, and it was also like a downtrending inverse head and shoulders. If anything, this thing is like a short setup. It's almost like, you know, an inverse head and shoulders or an uptrending head and shoulders is like a buy. This is like a short, so that's interesting. SVRA, haven't seen this. This one was nice. It cracked the day high here. 932, kind of did it at the open, kind of struggled, but once it officially did it, I mean, 249 to 315 very easily, just straight green candles. Pretty nice action. Nothing I want to trade. I don't see any patterns I like. Maybe I missed this inverse head and shoulders right here. There's nothing wrong with that. 296 to now on a 320, so that we kind of hit a wall right there. Could keep going, but this is definitely better. An inverse head and shoulders would have been kind of scary to trade it because it just fell off of its highs like that, but this one is doing it, and maybe it will make now the inverse head and shoulders second high or low setup. So if it drops, it makes like a higher low. That will be a nice setup too, although I don't think I'll trade it. I'll definitely look at it though. An AABB looks like it's at its highs. It's kind of failing. Put up a lower low, a lower high, at least as of now, but we'll see how that one does. I don't mind trading this like a inverse head and shoulder second high or low, but I would trade something small like 30 shares just to say I traded it. Alright, it is 10:12 a.m. SVR, the big, well, I guess the big two red candles of death. Very, very bad. Anyway, this was going to be a potential inverse head and shoulders second higher low setup. This one did not work out. You would have had time to cut losses actually, but if you just wanted to hesitate, well, you probably won't hesitate next time because it dropped to the 270s a few I would say a few seconds later. The only thing maybe to learn from it is that it's because they had these big red candles. It kind of scared me from, being interested in the inverse head and shoulders had I have seen it in time. And I know this is all in hindsight, but I guess another thing to consider is that these inverse head and shoulders, they were made with very small amounts of candles. The range wasn't that nice. I mean, from 3 to 320, almost 10%, but really we've seen much better setups, so that could be something else to consider. Didn't trade it because I just didn't want to. This is actually scaring me from wanting to look at NASDAQ stocks, listed stocks, if they all just have these big random red candles like that. Just makes me not want to trade them. So I'm just gonna have to keep looking. Probably no trades today, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Alright, it is 10:19 a.m. I tried buying. I don't know what happened here with this broker, right? Like at one point I had the prices wrong on this, but after that I don't know what the issue was that I wasn't able to buy this. Right now I'm just going to be very cautious and just keep looking back and forth, making sure I don't actually get in a trade without knowing. That's the only thing I'm worried about now. I tried buying multiple times. I have no idea what happened here, what the issue was. It just nothing happened. No sounds to confirm. Why did I want to buy this? I wanted to buy it when it was right here. Inverse head and shoulder setup. Shoulder, head, shoulder, right at that 31 level to the risk off of. Nice wick here, the risk off of. This is the setup now at 32.5, so too late for me to get in now. But if I end up somehow being in the trade because I get a delay or something, I will definitely be immediately out of the trade. This is why I have the speed keys, and it doesn't say that I'm in the trade. It might make it sound like it's, I don't know. It says I have no trades or whatever. It says I have no shares. That might be the case, but I just want to be extra sure that I don't see a notification later in the day after the setup played out and it's, worst case even lower than where it is right now, saying, hey, by the way, yeah, you're actually in that trade and you're in a very large size because you tried entering multiple times and all of them went through. That's the only thing I'm looking at right now. I have no clue why it didn't work, why I wasn't able to get in, what was the issue behind it. I'm trying to replicate what I did. I don't see what the issue was, right? No clue what the issue was. Zero idea what the issue was. Unfortunately, I don't know what the issue was. This is the second time that's happened that for whatever reason it just doesn't want to enter the trade. So yeah, definitely too late now. There is a big bidder here that could help push it up, but there is a seller right there too. And I don't know too well on how these things work, inverse head and shoulders with OTC stocks, but I'd imagine they play, if not similar, maybe better than listed stocks, because it's just like very simple price action. It's not very choppy, but I don't like this that it's doing right here. I'm just going to be very cautious now, looking back and forth, making sure I'm not in the trade, or if I am, to immediately get out, because I'm not trying to get stuck in a very bad situation. Alright, it is 10:24 a.m. I don't know if perhaps I guess you can go back and see, and I will go back and see, but in the other video, the last recording, you could probably tell there was a difference in the price action. Instead of what it is, 32 right now, 32 by 32 cents, right here it was like 0.028 by something else. It wasn't like the same price. I looked, I said, well, it's the right ticker, right? AABB, it's the right ticker. What is the issue? I typed it again, AA, I pressed enter, and now it's it's where it is right now. So if I had to guess, the reason why I wasn't able to get in this trade for whatever reason is because even though the ticker was typed in, like maybe for example INTV, it didn't actually load the new, it didn't actually load the level 2 and the price action for this stock. And that might have been why I didn't understand why my position was like off. My dollar amount position that I was trying to enter was also. Right, now it works just fine, but I guess when I did it then, it didn't go through for whatever reason. Maybe I typed in AABB and I didn't press enter. These are simple platform issues that kind of got me out of this. Didn't let me get into this trade. Nice inverse head and shoulders. It is working out. This is a great lesson learned. Maybe it was the same reason why I was having issues placing an order before. Maybe you just have to really make sure that when you type in the ticker in the order entry box, it actually goes through and has like the level 2, as you can see there, the time and sales to the right, the price and everything like that, the name of the stock. I'll have to look back, but I think that was the issue. I just had to do it again, and now in theory I could actually be in the trade, but of course that's too late. This is a great inverse head and shoulders that worked out. It only got, at least as of now, it only got to the neckline, or maybe you can call this a neckline too. Best case scenario is when it cracks the neckline and then it cracks the day high. Those are very nice. That's best case scenario. This was an easy inverse head and shoulders. If you ask me, could have bought here in the 31s, have the wick to risk off of. A little shaky right here when it wasn't uptrending. It was kind of flatlining. I would have probably looked at the level 2 for that to see if I should stay in or not. Maybe I'd get out anyway. This was a very, very, very nice setup, and I learned a really good lesson that when I type in the tickers, I need to really make sure that when I press enter, it actually goes through just by checking the level 2 or the time and sales, just to make sure the numbers match between one and the other. Thankfully I didn't get in any random trade. I guess when it's off like that, it's not going to go through, which is good. That was the issue with that, just something to learn from. I'll make an update to see how well this one does eventually. Unfortunately missed that trade because of this, but I think it's a great lesson and it will save me in the future. I'm going to just assume it was me not pressing enter. Maybe it was a platform. I doubt it. It was probably me, but if it is the platform, I'll just be now more aware of it so I can prevent an issue like this happening again. Alright, it is 10:59. I'm just going to call things off. Yes, nothing ever happened here with Charles Schwab. I never really had anything other than those failed attempts. I didn't have any actual orders go through, so that's a good thing. Nothing went through, and that's, yeah, just very happy. At least that didn't happen. Again, I'm just gonna guess that I didn't press enter and it didn't go through, or maybe it just didn't go through. But yeah, it was a nice inverse head and shoulder setup. This one only got to the neckline at 33, but sometimes they get higher towards the neckline, maybe just a little above it, and then it fails, or sometimes it just breaks out and it just hits the day highs. This is always a good setup. I like that it worked here on an OTC stock. Wasn't up too much on the day either. It still made a nice move. Again, maybe from 32 to 32.9. That wouldn't be so bad. Just a quick inverse head and shoulders. Me trying to trade things that are more than just number 5s. SVRA, CANF, and SSY. These are just depressing. Back to shorting these listed stocks that are up on a day. That's disappointing, really. So yeah, I'm just gonna call it off. Had a good setup. Here just didn't, the order just didn't go through. Learned a great lesson here on the order entries about this platform, just to prevent that from happening again. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it off from here. Just a pretty good trading day. Unfortunately, no trades, but that's fine. And as for number 5 setups, I mean, besides LTNC, which I probably wouldn't have traded just because it's not very happy with that stock because of how messy it was, and this one as well, AABB, wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was a nice number 5 setup with this one, and a nice inverse head and shoulders. So yep, gonna call things up. Hopefully tomorrow maybe I can get some trades. If not, that's totally fine too.